The stakes climb, the room goes quiet, and something inside you tightens. Your thinking narrows, your voice loses its steadiness. You reach for your composure, and it isn't there. Most people call this a nerves problem, something to fix with a breathing trick or a pep talk in the mirror. It isn't. The reason you lose your composure under pressure usually has nothing to do with the pressure itself. It has to do with how you lived in the hours, days, and years before it arrived. Because composure is not a mood. It's a capacity. And capacity is built the same way muscle is, through resistance you chose to face on purpose. Here is the uncomfortable truth. The single biggest thief of that capacity isn't fear, and it isn't weakness. It's comfort. The very thing you've been chasing as a reward is quietly disarming you for the moments that matter most. Start with how comfort actually works on you, because it doesn't feel like a threat. It feels like relief. Every time you avoid the harder option, the difficult conversation, the cold start, the workout you'd rather skip, you feel a small hit of ease. And that ease is real. The problem is what it does over time. Comfort doesn't just make hard things feel unpleasant. It lowers the threshold at which your body registers something as stressful. The person who never feels discomfort on purpose slowly becomes someone for whom ordinary friction feels like emergency. A delayed flight, a critical email, a tense meeting. To a well-conditioned mind, these are minor. To a mind marinated in comfort, they spike the same alarm as genuine danger. Seneca understood this centuries before we had the neuroscience. He advised setting aside days to practice hardship deliberately, plain food, rough clothing, then asking, "Is this what I was so afraid of?" He wasn't glorifying suffering. He was widening the gap between what's actually threatening and what merely feels that way. That gap is composure, and comfort closes it. Here's what most people miss. Under pressure, you don't rise to the person you imagine yourself to be. You fall to the person you've been practicing being. And if you've spent months optimizing your life to avoid friction, that's the version who arrives when the stakes peak. The comfortable version. The one who flinches at resistance, who reaches for the easy exit, who's never had to hold steady when everything in him wanted to fold. This is why so many talented people underperform in the exact moments they've been preparing for. Their skill is real. Their preparation on paper is complete. But their nervous system has no history of staying composed under strain because they never let strain in. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. He didn't mean this as poetry. He meant obstacles are the training ground. Every difficulty you meet on purpose becomes a rep, and when you avoid those reps in the name of comfort, you show up to the highest stakes moment of your year completely untrained for it, wondering why your hands are shaking. Now for the part that traps even disciplined people. Comfort rarely looks like laziness. It disguises itself as rest, as balance, as being reasonable. You tell yourself you're recharging. You've earned this break. You're just protecting your energy. And sometimes that's true. Real recovery is part of performance. But there's a version of rest that isn't recovery at all. It's avoidance wearing recovery's clothes. The tell is simple. Real rest returns you to the hard thing restored. Comfort as avoidance keeps finding reasons the hard thing can wait. One more day. Better conditions. When you feel ready. The mind is remarkably good at making stagnation sound wise. Epictetus put it plainly, no great thing is created suddenly any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. He said if you want a fig, you must allow time. It must blossom, bear fruit, and ripen. Composure ripens the same way, through repeated exposure to manageable difficulty over time. There's no version where you skip the discomfort and arrive at the calm. The people who look unshakable under pressure didn't find a shortcut around the strain. They stopped negotiating with it. So here's the shift. Stop treating comfort as the reward and pressure as the enemy. It's backwards. Comfort is the slow erosion. Chosen difficulty is the training. This doesn't mean punishing yourself or manufacturing pain for its own sake. It means deliberately keeping friction in your life while the stakes are still low, so your capacity is already built when the stakes are high. Take the cold start instead of the warm delay. Have the conversation you'd rather postpone. Sit with a hard problem 10 minutes longer than is comfortable before you reach for the easy answer. Each of these is a small rep in composure. None of them feels significant in the moment. That's exactly why they work. They're building the gap between real threat and mere discomfort, one deliberate choice at a time. Because when the real pressure comes, and it will, you won't rise to the occasion. You'll fall to your training. The only question is what you trained. Comfort will always be there, quietly offering to lower your threshold one more notch. Composure asks something harder. Choose the difficulty before it chooses you. That's the whole discipline, and it starts with the next small thing you'd rather avoid.